we go. You ready?
Yeah.
So we finished the story last time, and Osiris was the new king, right? So we're going to give Osiris some symbols here. These are symbols of what you have when you are the king in Egypt. This is called a flail. It's a kind of a weapon. It doesn't look very weapon-like here, but it's a stick with strings on it that might have sharp claws or heavy beads, and you can whack somebody with it if they're making you unhappy. All right, so it's called a flail. And then there is also this, which is a hook, or a crook, which is what shepherds use to keep their sheep from running away. It's a long stick with a curve on the end of it. So if a sheep starts to run away, let's say Caleb is a sheep and I'm trying to get him. I have my crook here. I go like this, boink, and I go over his head and I pull him right back in. All right? So you can see the king. Put your hands down. No more hands up till I say questions. The king has two things that he does. He punishes and he takes care of, keeps everybody together. So that's why Osiris holds those two things. He's a god. He's the king. So Osiris is the king of the universe, right? Because he took over. And he's a good guy. He's a good king. And in fact, he starts to introduce all sorts of new things to Egypt that had never been there before. For instance, because first he's king of Egypt, because it's an Egyptian myth. Like, this comes up in Egypt, and Osiris is the king in Egypt at first. And so he teaches the Egyptians how to make bread. They hadn't made bread before that time. He teaches them about wheat, growing wheat and making bread out of it. He teaches them how to make wine, because before they only had beer. Right? He teaches them how to make peace instead of fighting. When you get in an argument with someone, don't just fight them. Have a discussion about it. He teaches them how to write poetry. He makes people in Egypt better. He makes their lives better. He makes them better people. He makes them more civilized. And that takes a while, because the people in Egypt are very naughty. And then he has to go out and civilize the rest of the world. So he has to leave Egypt to go and do that for everybody else. When he leaves, he knows he needs to leave someone in charge to deal with the difficult decisions when he's away. So he asks his wife, Isis, to be in charge while he's away. And this makes Set very, very angry. Because Set is the brother of Osiris, remember? And he says, wait a minute, what are you doing putting a woman in charge? I should be in charge. I am Set. I am the brother of the king. I should be in charge. And Osiris says, no, Set, you are a bad guy. Set is the god of deserts and tornadoes and storms and scorpions and nasty things like that. And he says, no, Isis will be in charge. You have to do what Isis says, Set. So he goes away to civilize the rest of the world, and Isis is in charge. Well, Set says, this is not okay. I am fixing this. This is never going to happen again. I'm going to be the king. So while Osiris is away civilizing the rest of the world, Set comes up with this plan. He says, I'm going to give a party for Osiris for when he comes back. And at this party, I'm going to give him a gift that he'll never forget. So he goes and he decides he's going to make this fantastic box made out of wood. That might not sound like a very good gift, but wood was very unusual in Egypt. In fact, in early Egypt, there was no wood, because they all lived on the edge of the desert with a big river in the middle that has palm trees and things like that. It doesn't even have palm trees, actually. It has papyrus next to it, which is really long, thick grass, but really no trees. And so he has to travel all over Africa and the Middle East trying to find trees. And he goes to Ethiopia, and the queen of Ethiopia, Aso, helps him. She says, yeah, Set, I want you to be king too, because I don't like Osiris, but I like you. So she helps him, and together, with 72 other people helping them throughout Africa and the Middle East, they put together this box out of these beautiful different colors of wood. And it's kind of like Cinderella's magic slipper. This box is made to fit Osiris's body perfectly. Set's his brother. He knows the size of him, so he says we're going to make a box that fits his body. That's going to be really beautiful and fabulous. Osiris is not going to be able to resist it. So finally, Osiris comes home, and they give him a big party. Welcome home, yay, Osiris is home again. And Osiris comes in, thank you so much, I've had a great time, it's good to be home. And they have a big party. And Set brings out the box. And everyone's like, ooh, beautiful box. I've never seen anything so beautiful. All those colors of wood, where did that come from? I can't believe it. And Set says, oh, well, anyone who can fit in the box can have it. So all the people at the party go up and they try to get in, but it's a magic box. So it's too small for some people, too big for some people. There's only one person who's going to fit it just right. So finally they go, Osiris, you should try it. And Osiris says, oh, all right, I'll go try it. It is my party after all. And so he goes up, he gets in the box, and sure enough, it's a perfect fit. So he sits up and he's like, hey guys, it's my box, it fits me perfectly. And everyone goes, yay. And Set goes, you bet it fits you perfectly, brother. You're going to be in there forever. And he slams the lid of the box shut and seals all the air passages with lead, and Osiris dies. He suffocates and dies in this box. So Egyptian gods can die. Remember how Ra was afraid he was going to die when the snake bit him? Osiris dies. And everyone's shocked. What do you mean he's dead? He just came back. And Set takes the box and he throws it in the Nile, and it goes down the Nile and out of view. And everyone is shocked. And Set is like, wah, I am king. So now he's the king because the brother is dead. But there's something he doesn't know, and that is Isis is pregnant. So she's got a baby inside her belly. And if her baby is a boy, then that baby should be the real king. But she doesn't want Set to know about it because she knows, because of the history of her family, if the baby turns out to be a boy and Set finds out about it, he'll kill it. So she doesn't tell anyone she's pregnant. She goes off and is sad about Osiris, mourns his death. And then finally she gives birth to the baby in secret, and the baby's name is Horus.
Wait, it's a boy?
It's a boy. His name is Horus, and Horus, strangely, has the head of a falcon. Not anything like his parents. I'm not exactly sure why he has the head of a falcon. He wears the crown of Egypt.
That's baby.
He's not a baby in this picture. He's a grown-up here. He's got these cool things around his eyes. The eye of Horus is very special. He's got, there we go. So there's Horus. But he's just a little baby at this part of the story. So she says, okay, here's the thing. He's born, but now I need to go, I can go out in public again so people can see me and they won't find out that I'm pregnant. But I have to hide my baby because I need to go and find the body of Osiris so I can give him a decent burial. So I can treat him right. So she hides her baby on this magic floating island in the middle of the Nile. And she gives her baby a person to be in charge of him. A nanny, if you will, and like all good mothers, she picks a giant snake to be the nanny. The snake's name is Wadjet, and it's a cobra, as you can imagine, since she invented cobras. And actually, the uraeus snake that's on the head of the king's crown, not Ra's, but everybody else's crown, is Wadjet, this snake. So this